ERC, quality service since 1972. Repairing TVs, console stereos, electronic musical instruments, pinball machines, arcade games, and more. Call 836-0454.
This is the afternoon edition of the Weather Xtreme video. This is for Friday, the 15th of February. Getting set for a big storm system over the weekend, especially on Sunday here in our part of the world. Let's go to some Skycam shots this afternoon. Pretty decent day today. The sky partly sunny. There's a look at our Gulf Shore Skycam. Always a nice scene. Looking east from the top of the Phoenix All Suites. Up in Shelby County, that's the view coming from our Skycam on top of the Wingate Inn, looking southeast. Off in the distance, you can see Oak Mountain and traffic on US 280. And from the Chehaw Skycam, a few scattered high clouds overhead, but there's still a pretty decent amount of sunshine getting through today. There's the big storm in the southwest. The upper level low is south of Phoenix, and how that all comes out will impact the weather greatly over the weekend. And we think the main impact will be on Sunday. Temperatures around the nation warming up nicely as expected here. We've got readings up in the 60s today. I think we go back in the 60s tomorrow. Looks like the idea of any cooling tomorrow is kind of out the window. And once again, brutally cold up north. What a winter they've seen up in the upper Midwest. Temperatures are below zero on the Canadian border early this afternoon. That's at 2 o'clock. This is the QPF map, the expected rain across the country for the next 5 days. This is suggesting about 3/4 to 1 inch here, and that would be Sunday, with the heavier totals over in Texas and Oklahoma. On the convective outlook, this is for the rest of this afternoon and tonight, a slight risk over a pretty good chunk of central and western Texas. Tomorrow, for Saturday, we have a moderate risk of severe weather over parts of southeastern Texas. Houston would be included in that, and a large slight risk all the way from central Texas all the way to Vicksburg, Mississippi, Vicksburg and Macomb. And then on Sunday, we've got a slight risk over the southern half of Alabama, southern Georgia, parts of the eastern Carolinas, and much of North Florida. And, of course, that is the focus of the discussion here this afternoon. Here's the model output, the GFS, the 12Z run, valid at noon tomorrow, noon Saturday. The upper-level trough is still out there over western Texas. At the surface, we should be in pretty good shape. We think we'll have a quiet day tomorrow, a mixture of clouds and sunshine, the high up in the low 60s probably. In fact, tomorrow ought to be a lot like today, while the rain stays off to the west. And then Sunday, here comes our trough lifting out and phasing with the northern branch system, making for a big long-wave trough over the middle of the country. And there's the surface look coming off the GFS at noon Sunday. The surface low right on top of Chicago. And that will suggest the heaviest snow a little north of Chicago from Kansas City up to Des Moines and Milwaukee. That could be a big, big snow for those folks. And, of course, the trailing band of showers and thunderstorms down here in the warm sector. The helicity will be very high for rotating storms, but the instability, that's always the big question mark. And certainly the southern half of the state looks unstable enough for severe weather, and it could be a problem for North Alabama as well. We'll peek at the NAM model, and we note that the NAM is slower. This is midday on the NAM, and it's got the surface low between St. Louis and Chicago, with the main band of storms still back in Mississippi. And I think that's probably closer to being correct. These big old cutoffs don't come out in a hurry. So I still think the main window for the action here will be from about noon Sunday until 9 o'clock Sunday night, really especially noon to 6 o'clock. And, of course, that comes during the peak of the daytime heating process when the air will be most unstable, and we will continue to mention a chance of strong to severe storms area-wide with that. And then Monday, cold trough over the east, and at the surface, thickness values plunge. Going to be a windy and cold day. We'll have a hard time getting out of the 30s. But with the surface low so far north, that lessens any chance of snow flurries down here. I think we can drop that. And then Tuesday, the surface high is right over us, so it's going to be cold, a hard freeze Tuesday morning, but we'll start to warm up Tuesday afternoon. And by Wednesday, we should be back in the around 60 again. Again, that's Wednesday of next week. Thursday, moisture increases. That suggests maybe a shower for the northern part of the state. And then Friday, a short wave rotating through here, and that would suggest a pretty good round of rain over northwest Alabama, then ultimately easing in here perhaps Friday night. That's a week from tonight. But again, we'll fine-tune that, of course, in coming weeks. And quickly, a peek at the end of the cycle, the 2nd of March, when this whole thing is over. Warm ridge over Florida. Cold air to the north, a battle zone in between, and there's a storm in that zone of clashing air masses. And again, we're not trying to be specific out here. We can't be, but we just believe that the active will be very changeable. The weather will be very changeable and active here over the course of the next 4 weeks or so. So never a dull moment in the weather office. That's it for today. Thanks a lot for watching. We'll have the next video, my next video, Monday morning at 7. Brian Peters will have the video updates tomorrow and Sunday. And, of course, we'll have notes on the blog, AlabamaWX.com, if you're watching this on YouTube or iTunes. And we invite you to watch us on television this evening, ABC 3340 News at 5, 6, and 10 o'clock. Again, thanks for watching. Have a wonderful weekend, and God bless.